All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you had a fantastic Sunday. We did good. We went 3-2. We'll talk about the recap, but we made money, gave out 2 preseason plays in the NFL yesterday in the Discord, and we went 2-0. So very nice day there. We'll be dropping a preseason play on the Bengals and Commanders tonight. Maybe a couple. There's a couple of things I like here. So make sure you join the Discord. Absolutely free. A link is in the description. I'll also post it in the top comment if you want to join. But like I said, if you're a shithead, don't join. It's a positive community. I really like it. So come join us. But anyway, let's talk about the recap from yesterday. We did a lot of plus money plays. 4 of the 5 were plus money. Like I said, we went 3-2. We got off to a hot start. We hit the first 3. We had the Phillies money line, both teams to score 2+. That was pretty sweat free until the end, but scoring the 2 was not a problem. Aaron Nola did not look good. So we nailed those. We had the Yankees and the Cardinals over 9. This game started off really slow, and then it picked up. We ended up going over this. I think it was 6-4 Yankees. So we ended up with 10. We had the Reds and the Brewers with the Nerfy, very sweat-free Nerfy. Those are the kind of Nerfies we love, just 6 up, 6 down. And then we took 2 stabs on some dogs. We had the Padres and the Rays on the money line. I thought the Padres were going to win. They went down 4-0 early. I'm like, it's dead. Then they came back, tied it at 4, and then Mookie hits a home run in the bottom of the 8th. GG. And then the Rays. They just left Pepio out there too long. It was a pretty good game. Nothing. And then the Rays went up like 3-0, and then it was like 7-1. So GG on that one. But, we got to take those stabs. Over the long term, over the course of the season, those will be profitable for us. I got 5 best bets that I like today. So let's talk about this interesting Monday slate. I think we have 13 games, so a decent slate. There is a doubleheader, so that kicks us right off. Milwaukee and Chicago. Game 1 of the doubleheader. That's why I liked the Reds so much yesterday. Just because they had this doubleheader. We knew they weren't going to use their main arms. So Mears, McGill, all those guys, Ashby, they didn't use them. So they used their kind of junk arms, and they ended up losing. But this game, we've got Freddie Peralta going up against Cade Horton. In terms of the weather, it is going to be blowing out today. So game 1 is going to be about 6-7 miles an hour blowing out. We get a total of 8.5. I still think that's high given the pitching. If we look at the Brewers, they are 3-2 on the road on Mondays. Cubs are 4-2 at home on Mondays. But I will tell you, the Cubs are 0-3 in divisional games on Monday. So that is a bit of a knock. If we look at fastball Freddie, he is 6-6 on the road in games that he's pitched. But the Brewers have won 4 straight of his starts. We look at Cade Horton. He is 6-2 at home. But this guy is on fire. He has allowed 1 earned run in his last 5 starts. Now, that did come last start. But, wow, you got to go all the way back to June 21st to find the last time he had a home run. Not a home run, when he allowed a run at home. So you got to go back pretty long ways. Now, Peralta doesn't have a great track record versus these Cubs. 6 straight games, he's allowed 2 or more earned runs at Wrigley. So this has just not been a field he's pitched well at. That said, he still has a winning record, 4-2 with a 4.73 ERA. But I like the Cubs in this spot. Horton's just looked fantastic. I mean, he's given up last 30 days, .047 average to righties, 184 to lefties. Freddie Peralta, 306 to lefties, 150 to righties. We know he sometimes has control issues. And this is a Cubs team that walks above the league average. So I do like this spot for the Cubs here to take game 1. Now, they haven't been hitting. They're hitting 200 over the past week, 216 over the past 2 weeks. Both of those are bottom 6. And they've struggled with runners in scoring position. And we know the Brewers have been hot, but I just don't love this mix for fastball Freddie today. And I think Cade Horton continues to pitch well. So give me the Cubs in game 1. I generally don't take game 1, but I think we have a good understanding of the bullpen arms. Both of these teams are going to be trying to win game 1 based on the starters going in game 2. So give me the Cubs to win game 1. Get us a little early action today at this 2:20 Eastern start. Next game is going to be the Blue Jays and the Pirates. Kevin Gausman going up against Paul Skeens. So Skeens on the season is 4-4 at home, but the Pirates are 7-4 at home. He's got a 1.70 ERA. It's his first time taking Toronto. Now, we've said throughout the year, fading Paul Skeens on the road has been highly profitable, but it's actually been more profitable taking Skeens at home. If you've taken Skeens in all of his 11 home starts, you'd be up just under a unit, 0.96 units. So there is some value taking Pittsburgh. You're getting them at a good price, and this is a team that's 5 games above 500 at home. They suck on the road. They're 18-44 on the road, but they're 34-29 at home. But Gausman's been pitching really, really well last 30 days. He has a 100 average to lefties, 179 to righties. Skeens actually 235 to lefties, 226 to righties. So as much as I think there's profit taking Skeens, Blue Jays feels like the way to go. We got an over-under of 7. It's going to be 81 degrees with the wind slightly blowing out towards right field. It's such a coin flip of a game. My gut says take the Pirates. I think my brain and my money would be on the Blue Jays, though. So, but tight game there. Next game is going to be the Astros and the Tigers. Now, you got Jack Flaherty going up against Spencer Arrighetti, just 2 pitchers I don't trust whatsoever. But we just saw the Astros get their asses spanked yesterday by the Orioles. They weren't able to hit Dean Kramer. Can they hit Jack Flaherty? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, this Tigers team is 7-0 at home on Mondays. Astros are 3-4 on Mondays on the road. But Jack Flaherty is 5-8. Or I should say the Tigers are 5-8 at home when Flaherty's pitched this season. Flaherty is 6-12. Arrighetti doesn't have too many starts. I mean, since April, he's had 2 starts. So he started on 8-6 and 8-12. He looked decent against Boston. I shouldn't say decent. He looked fantastic. 5 innings, 1 hit, 2 earned runs. And then we go back to his first start at Miami. Did not look good. Went 3.2 innings, 11 hits, 5 earned runs. We go to Flaherty. He's given up 5 earned runs in his last 2 starts against the White Sox and the Twins. Pretty good against Philly. Let's see. He was good. Excellent. 2 hits, 1 earned run. Really good against Toronto. So the better teams he has pitched well against. But you just don't know which Flaherty you're going to get. So that's my issue here. I think the Tigers are way overvalued with Flaherty on the mound. I think it's just one you got to take a shot with the Astros on the road. Something we didn't talk about is kind of how Monday splits have gone. It's favored the dogs pretty heavily, especially if we look after the All-Star break. If you've taken favorites, you're down 15.5 units. If you've taken dogs, you're up almost 9 units. Home dogs have favored very well. Home dogs are up 7 units after the All-Star break. 11 away dogs are only up just a little under 2. But if we look over just the course of the season, it's the same thing. Home dogs are really the way to go. They're up almost 11 units on the season. Dogs in general are up about 5.5 units. Favorites are just getting crushed. You're down 26 units if you took every favorite so far this season. There is a bias towards the home teams. Home teams are 118 and 87 on Mondays, up 3.23 units. Away teams are obviously 87 and 111, down 24 units. It does lean towards the over. The over so far on Mondays is 208, 174, and 14. Post All-Star break, it's 54, 48, and 6. So it's a little more even keel in this one. All right, so that's kind of your breakdown of splits. But yeah, this is when I take a shot on the Astros. But it just, the fact the Tigers haven't lost on a Monday does kind of freak me out a little bit. I'm not going to lie. And the fact the Astros can't score or hit or do anything. And I have 0 faith in Arrighetti. Over 8.5 is where I'm kind of going with that. I do have it 4.5 to 4 in terms of the Tigers. Next game is going to be the Cards and the Fish. Yuri Perez going up against Matthew Liberatore. I like the Cards in this one. I think the Cardinals are live. I don't love Liberatore, but I love that the Marlins are god-awful against a lefty. This is a bottom 2 team against lefties. Liberatore is really bad lefty on lefty, and he's above average against righties. 231 over the last 30 days. Only concern with Liberatore is he's not going to strike anybody out. He's got a 10% K rate to both sides of the plate. And he has struggled a little bit with runners in scoring position, and he's okay on the road, about a 3.5 ERA. Yuri Perez has looked fantastic, but he is susceptible against righties, and this is a Cardinals team that's going to have a decent amount of righties. So I think it's worth taking a shot. Give me the Cardinals on the money line. We got an over-under of 8. I would lean towards the over, but We're just going to take the Cards. Let's go with the dog here. That's going to be our first dog of the day. Cardinals on the money line, plus 115 on BetMGM. Next game is going to be the Mariners and the Phillies. It's a game I want to get involved in, and maybe I will at some point later today once I kind of look at line movement a little bit. But it kind of undermines my strategy of not taking teams on Sunday Night Baseball. I mean, Ranger Suarez has been an absolute dumpster fire his last couple of starts. Against the Reds, he got shellacked. 10 hits, 6 earned runs. Previous start against Baltimore, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, gave up 3 earned runs against the Tigers, pitched well against the Yankees, got shellacked by the Angels, gave up 3 to the Padres. Just not been the Ranger Suarez we're used to. His last start, I mean, his velo was ridiculously down. His fastball was barely touching 90. A lot of times he was 88, 89. His stuff just looked off. And when you throw that slow, man, you got to be able to hit outside corners, and he just couldn't. So he had to come inside. Some of that was on the umpiring, and he got destroyed. Logan Gilbert on the other side has looked pretty good. Against Baltimore, went into the 7th inning, only gave up 2 earned runs. Against Chicago, only gave up 1. Texas got 3 off of him. The Angels got 4. But prior to that, he blanked the Brewers, blanked the Tigers. So this is one I lean Seattle in this one. If we do look at Logan Gilbert, he's got 1 game against the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. You got to go all the way back to 2023. It wasn't good. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. If we look at Philly, they're 5-4 at home with Suarez on the mound, but they are 5-2 on Mondays. Mariners are 4-3 on the road with Gilbert. This would be more where I'd go towards the prop market. Suarez over 5.5 hits and under 5.5 Ks. I would probably actually just pair them together because you probably don't get one without the other. So you do get that negative correlation for some value, but that's where I really like Suarez over 5.5 hits and under 5.5 Ks. Kind of scary to take a Mariners team to go under Ks. They do strike out at about a 20, almost 26% clip against lefties. So weather-wise here, 70 degrees, and we do have the wind blowing in. So it's going to be blowing in from right field at about 8-9 miles an hour. This is a park where the wind is very receptive. So this is one I got to go Mariners here. Splits on Gilbert are too good. 130 average against lefties, 188 against righties, Kang both at a 32% clip. Gilbert over 6.5 Ks feels sweat free. I'm not going to lie. It's a weird line for me. I think he could rack up 8-9 Ks against this Phillies team that is very prone to striking out. So low scoring affair though. Under 8 would be the way I would play it as well. So it's like I see a bunch of angles I love in this game. I just don't know what I pulled the trigger on. Like I said, I'm leaning more towards the prop market and specifically pitchers. All right, next game is going to be Baltimore and Boston. This is going to be Trevor Rogers going up against Dustin May. I'm a little surprised by this over-under, to be honest with you. In terms of the weather, the wind is going to be slightly blowing in. Home runs are down 21%. We get an over-under of 8.5. I know the Orioles are heating up, but they had to travel from Houston to Boston. I don't trust Dustin May at all. But this is a Red Sox team that has been in fuego against lefties. This is the number 2 hitting team against lefties. They've been tearing the cover off the ball when they see a lefty. That said, Trevor Rogers has been outstanding. 160 average to lefties, 186 to righties. Now, we did see a little bit of regression in his last start. He's got a 2 ERA on the road, but Dustin May, dude, I don't trust this guy whatsoever, and his pitch mix looks awful today. He throws fastball 51% of the time. Orioles 5th in that. Throws a cutter about 9% of the time. Orioles 3rd in that. So he's basically a fastball curveball guy. Orioles are 8th over the last 30 days hitting the curveball. Give me the Orioles on the money line here. I like this dog here. I like backing Trevor Rogers, and I like taking the under 8.5 in this spot. So maybe Red Sox team total under. Next game is going to be the White Sox and the Braves. This is going to be Yandris Gomez going up against Spencer Strider. Now, Strider has been getting smoked. He has not looked good over the last, well, basically course of the season. But last 30 days, 356 average to lefties, 375 to righties, pretty low K rate, high hard hit percentage. He's got a 4 ERA at home, but I don't trust this Gomez guy either. He is not good. He's got a 5.56 ERA that balloons to almost 10 on the road. but pitched decent last game. But we have the wind blowing out, and it's going to be 89 degrees. Give me the over 8.5. I hate trusting the White Sox to score runs in this spot, but I think they're able to get the Strider. They really haven't hit well over the past couple weeks, but it feels like a weird spot where they wake up. I think they're live to win this game personally, but I'm just going to take the over 8.5 as one of our official plays in this one. Next game, Rangers and the Royals. I think this is a Rangers spot. Royals are 7-3 and they've won 3 straight. They've got an extended homestand here. Rangers have Jack Leiter on the mound going up against Michael Wacha. These are 2 pitchers that have been absolutely dealing. If we look at Leiter, look at his last, let's say 4 starts. He's given up 1 against the D-backs, 1 against the Yankees, 2 against the Mariners, 1 against the Braves. So last 4 starts, he has looked really, really good. My issue is he doesn't go deep into games. So that does concern me. If we look at Wacha, he's been fantastic as well. You can go back over his last 6 starts, and he's given up 2 or less in every single one. He has given up 2 earned runs in back-to-back games against the Nationals and the Red Sox, but that was at Fenway. It's a tight game. We get an over-under of 9. It feels high for how well these pitchers are pitching, but that's because we do get the wind blowing out kind of towards left field, left center, something along those lines today, and it is going to be warm. It's going to be 93 degrees. So my first inkling was to take the under, and this was 9.5 last night. So I did bet it personally at 9.5. But at 9, I don't know. I really want to go Rangers here. My only concern is Rangers have not pitched well with Jack Leiter on the road. They are 2-8 this season, but they're 3-7 to the under. Wacha is 7-5 at home, or the Royals are when he pitches, but they're 5-7 to the under. So you got 2 teams that are like 8-14 to the under. So under 9 seems reasonable to me, but I do lean Rangers still, even though the metrics necessarily don't agree. It would be Rangers in the under for me. Game 2 of our doubleheader in Milwaukee and Chicago. And again, I would not bet the second game of a doubleheader until you know how the first game goes, how many bullpen arms are used. Again, the zigzag is in full effect. I will say the Cubs have not been good in doubleheaders. When I looked it up, I want to say they're like 18-36 or something like that. So they have not done good at doubleheaders at home, but it's going to be Chad Patrick going up against Jameson Taillon. It's been a minute since we've seen old Chad Patrick and Jameson Taillon. To be honest, these are 2 guys I don't really know what we're going to get because they haven't pitched in a while. I would lean towards Chad Patrick. If I think the Cubs win the first game, then I think the Brewers probably win the second game and they split. But I don't love the pitch mix for either of these guys. It kind of screams runs. We get an over-under of 9. Actually, you know what? And the weather. So let's recall that. The 2:20 game, the wind's ever so slightly going to be blowing out. 8:05 game, it is going to be blowing straight out to center. So I think we're going to get hardly any runs in the first game. And I think we're going to get a shit ton in the second game. So like I said, it's kind of the opposite. You zigzag everything. So if it's high scoring in the first game, take the under in the second game and vice versa, right? So a lot of zigzagging. If I do bet this game, probably won't. Like I said, that'll be what I'll do. Like I said, I think first game goes under, second game goes over. Brewers probably win game 2. All right, next game is going to be the Dodgers and the Rockies. Dodgers have won 3 straight, took over the NL West from the Padres. You get Yamamoto going up against Kyle Freeland. Can't pay this price for the Dodgers. It would be a rocky spot for me. I'm not going to lie. I think Yamamoto might have some issues here today. He relies a lot on his breaking stuff. Shit don't break in Colorado. So Kyle Freeland has pitched pretty well his last couple of outings. Do I trust him? Not really. Am I actually going to put money on the Rockies? No. But the weather's going to be 88 degrees with the 9-mile-an-hour wind blowing out. We get an over-under of 11. This is one I wouldn't bet the over. Like I said, it's Rockies or nothing for me, but I don't get to the window with this game whatsoever. Reds and the Angels. Brady Singer going up against Victor Mederos. Reds are 3-0 against the Angels, but we got to go back to 2023 last time they played, but they did sweep them. Obviously, the Reds coming off that nice win against Milwaukee, traveling to the West Coast. Brady Singer has pitched better. As much as I hate this guy, he has definitely pitched better, but this is an Angels team that I think is going to hit tomorrow. I think the Reds are going to be able to hit. I like a lot of runs in this spot. So give me the over 9. We got the wind blowing out and it's going to be 78 degrees. So I like the over and I like the Reds to win the game. So we're going to do same thing we did with the Phillies game yesterday to get a lot more value out of this one. Instead of a pick 'em, we're going to get this up to like plus 145. And then 2 more games left here for us. We've got the Giants and the Padres. Robbie Ray going up against Nestor Cortez. I mean, if the Giants could just remotely hit a lefty, I'm hammering the Giants in this one. Robbie Ray has just been great as a dog this season. He's 4-1 on the road as a dog. I have the Giants winning this 5-3. So I do lean towards the over 7.5, and I would lean Giants on the money line. Just not sure I trust them. But man, Nestor Cortez is a perfect get-right spot. He's got a 6 ERA on the season. That said, he's got 17 innings pitched, does have 17 Ks, but he's not going very far. 375 average to lefties, 231 to righties. Robbie Ray's been really good lefty on lefty, 274 average to righties. Hard hit percentage scares me a little bit. So like I said, I'd probably ultimately just go over. I think the Giants are able to get some runs off Nestor Cortez. I think the Padres should be able to get some runs off Robbie Ray. In terms of the weather, it is going to be 68 degrees at Petco Park, and we do have the wind blowing out to right field. Last game on the card is going to be the Guards and the D-backs. I like the Guardians in this spot. Gavin Williams didn't look good in his last outing. However, you got to think the start before that, he threw, like 130 pitches, like some ridiculously high number as he had his no-hitter going. So it was pretty natural to think we'd see some regression in that next start. I think he's well-rested this start. It's going up against Zach Gallen, who's been a dumpster fire. He's got almost a 6 ERA at home in 12 starts. Splits against lefties are terrible. 326 average last 30 days, 214 to righties. He's got a 6% K rate to lefties. So inability to strike them out. Hard hit percentage is super high. Give me the D-backs give me the Guardians in this spot on the money line. It's one I want a little bit more value to take them, but I do have I have the Guards winning this. All right, let's get into our best bets. Get you guys on your way. Make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Comment down below with your favorite plays. On the card here, Cubs on the money line, game 1. This is Horton and Peralta. White Sox and the Braves over 8.5. We're taking the Reds and the Angels over 9, and we're also taking the Reds on the money line, both teams to score at least 2 runs. And then we're going to take a stab with the Cardinals on the money line against the Fish. So those are the plays. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.